Good evening, everyone. Welcome to National Signing Day. Always an exciting day on the campus of Lafayette College. I am joined tonight by my co-host, John Leone. John and I will be working the ball games again, getting ready for next Wednesday's home opener, when the women will take on a good basketball game, as they will be taking on, Kia, help me here, Marist.
Marist on Wednesday,
will
yes.
be the opponent. So let me introduce Kia Damon Olson, the head women's basketball coach. Joining us a bit later will be Mike McGarvey, the men's basketball coach. And Kia, before we get started with the recruits that are coming on campus, I do want to apologize to the people that maybe tuned in at 7 o'clock. We're 15 minutes late. There were a few technical issues that have been taken care of. So we hope there will not be any more problems as we get through this evening. Kia, before we get started, I know that on Monday, there was Maroon Madness on campus for the first time ever, and I'm hearing really neat things about that. Can you tell us a little bit about the environment, about the night, how it went with your players, your thoughts on Maroon Madness?
No, I thought it was a good evening. There was a little bit of anticipation. Mike McGarvey came up with a great idea of taking a hoop, up to Fairnon and letting the students shoot and dunk and all that kind of stuff. I think happened on maybe Friday and Monday leading up to Maroon Madness. So I thought that was pretty cool. It was great to see the student athletes there. There were a fair amount of community members, young kids there, other students as well. So it was nice to see, Kirby filled before game started.
Yeah, it was. I've heard a lot of good things about the excitement generated on campus out of that. Yesterday, you traveled to Syracuse, a game you obviously are not expected to win out of the ACC, but you got off to a good start. You were leading 9-5 at one point, and then pretty much Syracuse won it going away. But what were some of the positives you saw coming out of that game?
I thought there were several positives. One, we worked a lot against preparing for their different types of pressure. I think our turnover number was around 18, but I think several of them, we had 3 or 4 shot clock violations. We had to travel. So we weren't necessarily having a ton of live ball turnovers, which I knew could be problematic. I thought that the way we started was important. Those environments can be intimidating if you haven't been in them a ton. And so I thought that we were ready to go from the get-go. And I thought that, we're trying some different things offensively. And I thought the girls did a pretty good job of getting through some of that, making some of the reads that are necessary. And to be honest, we had 58 shots. We had a number of wide open shots that just did not fall down for us. So I'm encouraged by some of the things that I saw. Obviously, I know, we have to continue to address the rebounding numbers, and even in some of your best box out attempts against sometimes those level of athletes, it's futile work. But I think the girls are upbeat. I think the things that we really honed on and emphasized in practice, they took to heart, and now it's just going to be up to us to continue to build on that.
I'll reflect a little bit on the football season. When they played Duke, they were not expected to win that game. Duke ranked in the nation, much like the Syracuse program. They weren't expected to win that game, but a lot of positives came out of that in terms of the fact that you kind of know you're not going to play teams much better than that all year long. So you do your best. Kay Donahue had a nice ball game for you. And like you said, you had open shots, and eventually you hope the opponent isn't quite as quick. Those shots are going to fall.
Yeah, no, I'm confident. I think some of it was just allowing ourselves to, play at the tempo that we want to play at. We didn't have as many transition opportunities as I would have liked, but some of that is the speed differential. Things look open and then they're no longer open. As I tell the girls, closing speed is real. It's not just in football.
It doesn't get any easier. I know you're going to get on a plane in a couple of days, go to East Tennessee State. Now, that's a noon tip-off, and by the way, you can watch that game on ESPN Plus. Then you are back home against Marist, our home opener. John and I will be there to bring you that ball game. That's the 15th. That's a 6 o'clock start. Between now and next Wednesday, what are the areas you're really looking at to improve?
Yeah, like I touched on a little bit before, rebounding our interior defense. I thought the ball came in a little bit too easily, and we need to tighten that up a little bit. want to make sure that we can continue to work on reading the options in our offense, that we're looking to install. And we have to get, 3, 4 kids in double figures for us to be at our best. And so making sure that we're creating opportunities for that to occur will be the focus for the next week for sure.
It is National Signing Day. We're looking at 2 recruits who are going to be coming on campus to Lafayette. The first one we want to talk about is Jordan Mays, 6'2", out of Richmond, Texas. First of all, let's take a look at some of her highlights. You and John will take us through those highlights. And I know Jordan is waiting to talk to us, and we'll talk to her right after you guys kind of describe her play. John, Kia, it's all yours.
Yeah, thank you, Gary. Had a chance to watch Jordan play, and Kia, the thing that stood out to me is I know your propensity for trying to recruit players who are positionless. They can do a lot of different things. I suspect that Jordan is not going to be a positionless basketball player for you. This is a big kid, and she likes it. She's one of those stately-looking young women who seems to enjoy being 6'3" and being effective playing the game the way she wants to play it.
Yeah, Jordan's very skilled. She can play away from the basket and handling the ball and shooting the ball. She can also, play around the basket, post ups. She has a turnaround jumper. I think that the areas that I've been most impressed with when in Jordan's game in terms of her growth is just her commitment to doing the things that she needs to do to be successful currently, but then also preparing for coming to college. Just her commitment to elevating her conditioning level. You can only get better as a player when you're in really, really good shape. That'll allow you the freedom and mobility to rebound. And that's going to be something that, we count on Jordan to do. It's no secret that I enjoy having big kids. I love having trotting out 6'3" and 6'4" kids. I think it changes things. And we were probably our most effective as a team when I had multiple big kids. And as we take that turn with our front line, I'm just looking forward to adding dimension. That was a little sore spot for us last year. We're plugging away at it this year, but I think by next year, we'll really have it plugged up.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question when I watched her play, her attention to detail, the video will show some of that stuff. But that conditioning factor and the speed of the game, it's always a little bit of a different challenge for the bigger kids, whether they're on the men's side or the women's side. The speed of the game can be a challenge, especially for the lower level Division I schools that sometimes the Dukes and the North Carolinas of the world are going to pass up on, and we get them in their projects. And one part of the project is to get them moving at a speed that can help them be competitive at this level.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I think you're seeing it across the nation. Most young kids struggle coming to college with the conditioning, with how much you have to move. It's no longer just standing in the paint and just being a shot blocker. You have to get out, you have to hedge ball screens, you have to get involved in screening actions, you have to guard people away from the basket and pick and pop situations. So, she'll be ready to do those things a year from now for sure, effectively. But I just think that she's taking the right steps before she comes to college to put herself in those positions.
And I think the videos will show that if we get a chance to take a look at them. I think we're going to do that now. And you'll see that one of the things I look for sometimes, Kia, is those little details. And let's go through the video, and I'll point some of them out. Her footwork is really pretty good. Here you see her step away, and her mechanics on her jump shot are fine. I'm not sure how many threes she's going to be taking, but there's the turnaround jump shot that you talk about. She releases the ball high, and then he's got a nice little drop half hook in the middle. And then again, defensively, she keeps the ball high. I mean, those are the little details. She's been well schooled. Once she gets the ball in the middle, there you see her turn to her left. She shoots it right-handed. And then again, the pick and the step back. Now watch this move along the baseline. That's a tough shot. She doesn't really have the backboard to work with, but she's got a nice touch in that mid game. And I like the fact that she plays big around the bucket. She doesn't have to leave her feet. She doesn't commit unnecessary fouls. There's a nice catch and shoot right there. She has a knack for finishing, which is important. We've seen kids lots of times, big kids, have trouble finishing plays in the middle. Watch her just kind of keep her hands up. She seems, and correct me, Kia, but she seems to have exceptionally long arms. She doesn't have to jump a whole lot, But am I mistaken there? It just seems like her arms are really long. Look at that move. You talk about her
No,
athletic
yeah, no,
ability.
no. Jordan has really good length, a very good wingspan. And again, it's just kind of getting her comfortable moving around on the floor, doing lots of different things. I think you can see just the versatility that she offers, picking and popping, rolling to the basket, catching the ball in the mid post. I can see her being a young lady who develops a reverse pivot game and operates from the mid post, a little bit more as her college career, goes along. But I think that her best days are definitely ahead of her. I do think that she has a pretty high ceiling, and looking forward to going through that process with her.
I think she's been well coached. One little telltale sign, and again, it's just a little detail, but she sets that high screen, and you saw her twice in a row. It wasn't an accident how she drop steps, opens to the basketball so she doesn't lose sight of it, and then she's able to catch and finish. She's going to be an exciting addition, both offensively around the bucket, I think, Kia, and certainly defensively as well.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. We're looking forward to having her.
All right, why don't we say hello to Jordan Mays. Jordan, I'm sure you are with us. Welcome, obviously, to the Lafayette Sports Network. And it's good to see you there. Of course, far away from us in Texas. So my first question is, why Lafayette? And I love your sweatshirt. You're ready to go.
Thank you. I chose Lafayette because I really like the coaches and the team, and it's a really great school, and they have what I want to major in. And I just really felt at home on my visit, and I really enjoyed it. So that's why I picked Lafayette.
Talk a little bit about your family. I see somebody who wants to be on TV, so he's in the background there. Tell us a little bit about your family.
This is my brother. Say hi. Hi.
Will he be coming to Lafayette? Is he? He's got a Lafayette shirt on too, doesn't he?
Are you gonna come to Lafayette? We'll see. Okay. This is my dad.
Hello. How you
doing? And my mom is hiding behind the camera.
Understandable. There's Mom. Well, hello to all of you. We will anxiously await your arrival to Lafayette. I'm sure you'll come up for some of the games. You're always invited to stop and talk with John and myself. It's great with ESPN Plus that everybody gets to see all the games. Your family is quite athletic, though. I was looking at your resume a bit, and I mean, you've got an uncle that played professional baseball. You've got somebody with the Harlem Globetrotters, women's soccer. You're a very athletic family.
Yes, yes.
Are they still? Is she still with the Harlem Globetrotters? Is he still with?
No, he passed away a few years ago, but he was with them a while before, like before I was born.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So you're a power forward and a center, a 4-year starter. You got all the accolades, all district, all academic, 3-year captain. You played some volleyball. That's always good for a basketball player. Talk about some of your extracurriculars because you have plenty of those.
Yeah, so one of my favorite extracurriculars that I was in at my school, it's like a mentoring program for the freshmen. So the upperclassmen, the juniors and seniors, we prepared the freshman orientation for them, and we show them around the school. We play games with them, and we just make them feel welcome and tell them about the school before they hear it from because the teachers have the students do it, so that it's like hearing it from like a student perspective is better than hearing it like from before they can hear it from a teacher. So it makes them like more comfortable. So I think it's really fun to like, meet them and like talk about the school, my school and everything. So and make them comfortable. So I enjoy that. It's one of my favorite ones.
I know church is very important to you.
Yes.
And you also part of the Women's Center. I know you're helping out with women in terms of getting clothing for those who can't afford it.
Yes.
You're a busy young lady.
Very.
And
with
all that, you don't come to Lafayette if you don't have great academic skills. Do you have any an interest in a major yet?
Film and media studies.
Aha, very good, very good. Well, we await your arrival at Lafayette. We hope you have a great. What's your high school season like? Give us a little prognosis of that team.
So we had 2 games so far. We lost both, but I see a lot of there's a lot of good things. We have a very young team, by the way. We have 6 freshmen and sophomores combined, and like only like 3 or 4 upperclassmen. So it's a very young, very new team. So we're all still learning each other. But this last game that we played yesterday, I saw a lot of improvement from fall league. So I think we have a tournament starting tomorrow. So I think we're going to have a really good tournament. We're going to be in the gold bracket, and I think we're going to do really well going into districts. But we have we've had a lot of improvement with the young ones. So
you're the seasoned veteran on the team?
yes, I've been there the longest. Yeah.
Well, I wish you a great senior season. Have a great year in the classroom. And we
Thank you.
can't wait to see you on campus in Easton, PA.
I'm excited too.
All right, Jordan. Thank you very much for joining us and spending some time with us.
Thank you.
All right, Kia. We have another recruit that we'll be talking to very shortly, and she's local. It's Talia Zarinskis of
Yes.
Parkland High School,
Mhm.
right up the road. So you didn't have to go too far to scout and find her. Tell us what you liked about her game.
You know, Talia is one of those people that has a competitive edge to her that you respect and admire. You know, she's a kid that's very, very skilled, can do a number of things, can get in the lane, create shots for others, score the ball herself, shoot the long ball. But I just, she and I kind of connected a little kindred spirit. She tries to be quiet and shy, but she's not. She actually has a lot to say. She's one of very few kids that you'll talk to that, yes, she's academically driven. Yes, she has extracurricular activities, but she loves basketball. She loves everything about it. She loves the training. She likes playing in the game. Like, she likes weightlift, like all the things that you have to do to be a really good player. She enjoys the process. And I think that only bodes well for her continued growth as she transitions into college.
Yeah, we're very familiar with her also, having being able to see her here in the Lehigh Valley. Her team won the district championship just a couple of years ago. She was an integral part of that championship. She's a good scorer of the basketball. She's well coached, and she's in a very tough league. That has to also enter into the fact that you really like how she plays, because the Eastern Pennsylvania Conference is a very difficult basketball league.
No, I completely agree. Like, she comes, and that's what you want from your league guard. You know, you want someone who's battle tested, someone who's been in those types of environments, so that when they come to college, they're not shaken by some of the different places that you'll go into, as well as, you know, for Talia, she's going to need to be a leader by nature of her position. And so speaking up early, directing, and even when you're not really sure about what's going on, you know, that's what's needed.
All right, I think we now will take a look. You and John can take a look at the video of Talia Zarinskis, a point guard, a shooting guard, just what we like to have on Lafayette's campus.
Yeah, there's no question about it, Kia. You know, she's as you mentioned, she's an energizer. She's got great footwork. You know, she really does. Her ball skills, the shot fake. You know, so often when a youngster comes out of high school, you got to start from scratch. But I don't think you're going to have to with Talia. I think she's got a good base. I know she played for Eddie Olson over at Parkland, and she's had another year since then. So I'm excited about her, and you know, I think she's going to bring exactly what you like. She's not a pure point. She's not a pure two. She's kind of a half and half guard, and she's got a very diverse kind of game for you.
Yeah, you know what? And we didn't touch on her defensive ability. And she's yet another guard, you know, who can come in and apply, you know, some pressure. It's gonna look different than probably any guard that we currently have on the roster, but I do think she'll probably draw some comparisons to Abby's stature, you know, things of that nature. But just a kid who can impact the game in a number of ways.
Yeah, Abby does a little bit of everything as well. You know, I'm not sure I'd classify Abby as a pure shooter. She's a scorer, but when I look at Talia and I see her shooting mechanics, she is I don't want to say a shoot first guard, but she can be that. You know, her mechanics are terrific, and she's really good off the ball. It would be exciting to see them together, but again, I think as you grow this program, you get more and more. You get a full roster of the kinds of kids you need. You know, Sauda's certainly in that group, and Kylie, and you've got a bunch of them. So you continue to move in the right direction.
Yeah, year after year. I mean, that's the goal, just to try to, making sure that you're adding the right pieces to help move the program and the team forward and address the needs that you have.
Well, let's take a look at her because again, she's fun and she really does jump out at you. Again, playing at Parkland, as Gary suggested, it's a 6A school. It's one of the bigger schools in the Lehigh Valley, and the competition there is really something. So she comes from a sound program for sure, and there you see some of her range. I mean, she doesn't hesitate, and again, she can put it on the floor. She can take it to the bucket. Watch the little shot fake right here, and then the step back and the little mid-range jump shot. And again, a mid-range game is important in this day and age. And there you see her pulling up off the dribble. Now, she shot that ball going right. You're going to see in a little while, she does the same thing going left. There she finishes around the basket. But when she goes left, she doesn't have to readjust her shooting, her footwork. That's a nice left-handed finish right there. But as she goes left, again, her footwork is impeccable, and it allows her to get the shot off. There you see her range and her quick release, but it allows her to get the shot off. Look at her crossover with a dribble. I mean, she's really a constant motion, and she's a tough kid to defend for sure. Another left-handed finish right there. That's a big-time move right there. And again, Talia knows how to play, and watch that left-handed finish. Again, she reads the defense, doesn't rush things, the catch and shoot, and again, taking it to the basket strong, and gets fouled right there. So she's played at every level. Little fake right there and a step back. Just know some kids just have a knack for scoring the ball, and little hesitation dribble. That's the one I was talking about. Now she goes left that time, plants her right foot, pulls her pivot, pulls her left foot around and walks into her jump shot. And again, that tells me that someone's taught her the mechanics of how to shoot the basketball. Nice little pass right there, and a nice little pass right there. You saw two in a row. So she sees the game. Doesn't necessarily see the floor. I don't like that. I like seeing the game rather than seeing the floor. Lots of people can see the floor. Not as so many can see the game. She's a good one.
And that is true. That's a very true statement for sure. Now, she's a good player currently, but she's really going to be a good college player, especially as she continues to develop her body. As you can see, she has skills. She can pass, dribble, and shoot. And there's always space in the game for kids who are multi-talented like that.
All right, I think it's time to meet Talia. Talia, I see you appropriately have the Lafayette banner right behind you. I don't know how you managed to do that, but I like the look for sure. You're someone, when I watch you play, and I've watched you play some high school ball also, you just love the game of basketball, right?
Yes, I'm always in the gym. I love being in the gym all the time.
I mean, at one point you were a soccer player, but you just found out that it's basketball, it's basketball, it's basketball.
Yeah, like I used to play soccer and I thought that was what I wanted to do in college, but I mean, I just started going in the gym like in the mornings with my dad, and I started seeing results, and I was like, this is what I want to do.
You mentioned your father. Talk a little bit about your family.
Yeah, my mom and my dad are like biggest supporters. Like my dad, he brings me everywhere. He drives me to all my games. He's one of the coaches at my AAU club.
Mm-hmm.
And my 9th grade year on my AAU team, but he takes me to the gym all the time. That's where we started ground. We started in the beginning with him and me, like not even being able to make a foul shot, and we just worked our way every single day. My mom, she just helps me with life skills in general. She's like another huge supporter in that side because she was an English major. She helps me with all my schoolwork and everything like that.
Well, English majors are the best people.
Oh, please. What was the over? Talia, as soon as you said that, I knew we were in trouble. Gary, of course, was an English teacher. So
I know you have a couple of sisters. Do you play some ball in the driveway?
My sister, who's a freshman this year, yeah, she plays basketball too, but soccer's her main sport.
Okay.
She's on school.
And Zara, how about Zara?
Yeah, she does gymnastics, and she's in 6th grade.
Tell us a little bit about some of your extracurriculars too, are just wonderful. Tell us a little bit about the Parkland Cares program that you're a part of.
So my mom helped create that. It's basically a food pantry for underprivileged families in our district. And we have like a little place near our high school that kids can bring in food. We have food drives for our team that we do. Like our whole basketball team will do like a food drive and people will just drive by and we'll just put food in their cars and stuff like that. So it's a really good way to reach out to the community.
District champs a couple of years ago. That has to be one of the highlights of your career.
Oh, definitely. I'll never forget it. It was awesome.
What's the outlook for your high school team this year?
This year I think we're gonna be really good. We have some people that were out last year because of injury that are sophomores. So they'll be good help this year. We have a player that is pretty good who will start this year. I think that I think we're gonna be really good this year. Yeah, I think we have all of the. We're deep in the bench. We have a deep bench, so that's good.
Really good is those are two words you can use every year for Parkland basketball. It's
Oh.
always really good. Why did you pick Lafayette? What was it about Lafayette that enticed you?
Yeah, I think it was just the people in the atmosphere. Like all the schools I visited, Lafayette they were so welcoming right from the beginning. I knew like everyone says, oh, you get this gut feeling. Like I had that gut feeling. And I just knew like from that point on that this is what I wanted to be. It's surrounded by the players that it's a great culture. And just the name Lafayette has a great reputation. So why not be a part of that, you know?
I know education's very important to your entire family. I know you're thinking about majoring psychology or biology,
Yeah.
pre-med perhaps or whatever. That's why people come to Lafayette for a great education.
Yep, definitely.
We're looking forward to seeing you. I know you'll be close enough to come to some of the games. When you come to the game, stop down and say hello. We certainly want to get to know you better, and we will do that in the next 4 years.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Have a great high school season.
Thank you.
Okay, that's Taya and Kia. I understand. I can see right away why these two young ladies were perfect picks for you.
Yeah, no, we feel like we hit the jackpot. We definitely like where they are right now, but are super excited about being a part of their journey and continued development, as young women.
Kia, I wish you luck, the best of luck as you travel to East Tennessee. We can't wait to see you at the Kirby Sports Center next Wednesday night.
Thank you for having us for sure.
All right. Thank you,
Coach.
for taking time out of your busy schedule. And I know waiting in the wings, Mike McGarvey, the head coach of the Lafayette basketball team. I guess technically in his first year as the head coach. Mike, welcome aboard. I know you just came off the practice court. How about your reaction to midnight or to Maroon? I keep saying Midnight Madness, Maroon Madness the other night. I know you were a big part of putting that together.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. Coach Kia touched on it. The community support, the student athlete support was really awesome to see that before a game and the excitement around men's and women's basketball. I thought our players on both sides had a blast, had a lot of fun. And, just to have that excitement shared in the gym was something really special. So we look forward to continuing that tradition and building on it as the years come.
You played St. Joe's on Monday night. Played them very well for the first half. Then kind of their speed and maybe a little bit more of their talent took over in the second half. But give me some observations, some perceptions about that game.
Yeah, I think you touched on it. I was really pleased with our competitive spirit. We went out there and, I think every single player on the team, coaches included, went there to win. And that was a great first step for our group and our journey. I give a lot of credit to St. Joe's. I thought they played a really great game. Their ball pressure was amazing. Their switching was intense, and forced us to be a little bit uncomfortable with our style of play. So, with that, I thought that we were in the hunt for a little while. We were in the mix at halftime for sure, and then a run in the second half from St. Joe's kind of took it away from us. But there was a lot of lessons learned, a little bit more sharper details, a little bit more spacing.
So anyhow, we have a date on the books.
So I think moving forward, we'll take those lessons. We'll continue to grow as a team, and excited for the opportunity to go out and play on Friday night.
The purpose of independent basketball scheduling is to play the very best or the highest level, knowing that you can only get better from that kind of competition. You might be carrying it a little too far this weekend as you're going out to California, take on UCLA and Pepperdine on Friday and Monday, I believe it is. But what a great experience for the players and for you personally.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun trip. And obviously, anytime you get a chance to experience a school and a program like UCLA and all the history and tradition that they have, and not just the history of it, but the recency as well, all the NBA players that they currently have that our players, watch every single day and aspire to be like, it's going to be a pretty cool experience. And, to that point, I think, playing 2 games in 3 days is going to be a challenge. Traveling out west will be a challenge, but I'm excited to see how our team approaches it, and to learn some of the lessons that we learned on Monday night and apply them in the game on Friday night. That's going to look very different. UCLA has a lot of size. They have a lot of physicality. They play in the paint a little bit more than St. Joe's did. So rebounding and tough defense is going to, give us an opportunity to win it.
And then, of course, your first home game will be against Wilkes. I should mention, though, that the Pepperdine game will be on ESPN Plus. So the people that normally watch ESPN Plus to watch Lafayette basketball can do so. It's a 4 o'clock start on Sunday afternoon. Mentioned first home game. John and I will be at courtside for that one on the 19th against Wilkes. Tonight, we're going to meet a young man out of the Philadelphia area, your area. You're a Philadelphia guy. Having played your high school basketball at Penn Charter and then Ursinus. Malik Rasul, what was special about Malik?
Yeah, well, first of all, he's an unbelievable person, and he's really committed to the game of basketball. He's had some great coaches and mentorship in his life. He's got a great family. I think he's very driven academically and athletically. And so that was the first thing that jumped off the page. And there's some familiarity with him being at the Westtown School right now. Coach Berger, whose son TJ is in our program. So his understanding of what it takes to be successful at this level was critical. And his improvement over the last year that I've gotten to know him really stands out. His ability to rebound, his ability to defend, his ability to impact the games in other ways than scoring. But in addition to that, at 6'7" or 6'8", depending on what shoes he wears, he's got the versatility to step out and make 3-point shots, attack closeouts, and play off the dribble. And that versatility in our offensive system, is going to be utilized really well.
Yeah, I think when we get a chance to take a look at the video with you and with John, this young man has a lot of talent, and he's like the perfect guy to walk on at Lafayette at 6'7". There's so many different ways you can play him.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. He can be an inside-out threat. I think he can handle the ball with both hands. He can pass it really well too, and he's starting to see the game as a coach. And some of the things that he was able to pick up on when we talk about the NBA or when we talk about college basketball, the concepts that he's paying attention to really impact winning. So I'm excited for him to get here and have a major impact on our program over the next 4 years.
All right, let's bring John in. John Leone, he'll come in, and John, this young man is going to create some excitement on campus.
Yeah, he jumps right off the screen at you. I mean, you see right away his versatility and his ability to, as you said, Mike, play around the rim. What I like best is his mobility, because at 6'7", you just got done talking about the challenges that a team like St. Joe's and down the road, LaSalle and Drexel with that size and athletic ability, where St. Joe's was able to force you out of some of the things you wanted to do defensively. A kid like Malik can withstand that kind of defensive pressure once he polishes up his game a little bit. But what I was looking for him to do was make a couple of jump shots. And as I was watching the film, the next thing I know, he's knocking down threes, and I'm thinking, well, he can't do that too, can he? And well, yeah, he can. So you at this level, you can't be one dimensional, and I don't think he's a one-dimensional player.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, Coach. He's somebody that can play in different positions, and the way that we play with a spaced out floor and kind of positionless basketball, I think he can really be an asset on the offensive end. We talked about his defensive impact, rebounding, blocking shots, being able to switch on the perimeter. His mobility adds an asset on that end of the floor as well. But when you see his highlight tape, you'll see the versatility that we're talking about. His ability to attack the rim off the dribble, his ability to play in the paint, and his ability to step out and make the three, is a really good thing for Malik and his future here.
Well, let's take a look at it and share what we've already seen with some of the folks that'll be watching Malik. And, the one thing you can't always tell on a highlight video is basketball IQ. And Mike, it's so good to hear you talk about basketball IQ. Let's just have some fun early on here and watch the alley-oop there. And it's always nice to be able to do that. He's got a hop and a step to his gait, his stride. You can just tell how athletic he is. And these are the fun things. Listen, you're not going to get, 6 alley-oops a game or 6 dunks a game, but we can have some fun watching Malik do this stuff. What really you know, determines whether a kid can play. And that's a pretty good play right there, finishing with a defender on you. What really determines a level of success is how he sees the game, how he moves on the court defensively. Can he catch and shoot, his footwork? And you're going to see some of that pretty soon. There's a pull-up jump shot, and that's a nice looking jump shot. His mechanics are perfect, and obviously he's gotten really good coaching. It's just a nice finish right there, and he plays good competition. You can see this is good basketball going on out here right now. I'm not sure where this video is from, Coach, but there's a lot of good players on that court right now. Lots of little guard right here is setting them up for a step-in jump shot. That's pretty nice. That's a catch and shoot. Terrific footwork, nice release. Boy, I'll tell you, that's nice movement without the basketball, catch and finish around the rim. And again, just his ability to see the floor and move without the ball, those little things. That's what you talk about, attacking the closeout, a little jab step and get right to the rim with one dribble. Boy, I'm excited about this young man. I think you got a good one, Coach.
Yeah, thanks, Coach. Well, we were excited for him too. And you know, like you said, and you mentioned, he's played at a very high level. He's played against really good competition. He's got a lot of really great players that he's around every single day in his high school environment at practice. So having that level of understanding of what it takes to be successful is definitely going to help him out.
And I have to tell you, when and Kia mentioned this too, and I can just hear it in her voice, but you know, I worked with two really exceptional coaches historically, Pete Carrill and Butch Van Bredikoff, and before they watched the kid play, they would learn as much as they could about him as a person. And Lafayette is the kind of place that can polish up a gem. And I think you both have a couple of gems coming in, and Lafayette's the kind of place that academically and athletically can really polish him up. So congratulations to both of you, and congratulations to Malik. Malik, you made a good choice.
All right, let's meet the young man. He is waiting in the wings. Malik Rasul, 6'7", a couple 100 pounds. Malik, welcome. It's good to have you here tonight. I assume you're coming off a big event in your life, right? You just had the signing at your high school?
I did. I'm just in the gym. Everybody just left. I'm just excited, really excited.
That's really an honor. And you know, we talk about basketball journeys. Your journey has been somewhat ridiculous when you look at all the things. I mean, you played in California. You played with Amari Bailey, who is now with the Charlotte Hornets. You played with Bronny James, now at Southern Cal. Have you had any conversation with Bronny? How's he doing?
I have. He's ready to play. He's ready to get cleared. He's ready to start playing and get on the court. He's really ready. He's really, really excited. Like you could tell him, like just talking to him on the phone, texting him, he's ready to play.
What took you from California that got you to Westtown in Philly?
My mentor, Gino, after my sophomore year, I had broken my wrist, and I felt like I just needed somewhere new to play, somewhere new to build, somewhere new to like just be me. And we got on the phone, and I met Seth, and ever since then, it's just history.
So yeah, so it was the coach, obviously, that had a big impact on you. I think we could probably say the same about Coach McGarvey.
Oh yeah, for sure, of course, that's my guy.
What did his Philly roots have a lot to do with you deciding to go to Lafayette?
It did. I talked to a lot of people before I met Coach McGarvey, Coach Seth, TJ Berger. I talked to a lot of people who said a lot of good things about him. So going into it, I knew he was a great guy. And to meet him for myself, I could feel that. I could feel everything that everybody told me was true. And that's my guy.
We saw a lot of your skills in that video. In fact, the first dunk was more dunks than I ever had in my entire career. So I am a little jealous of your ability to do that. And you only had about 7 of them in that video. So that's an asset that obviously you have. You're the only senior, however, on your high school team. So that's a lot of responsibility on you as a leader. So you're ready to take on that responsibility?
I wouldn't say I'm ready, but I'm up for the challenge. I'm learning every day. I'm trying to be my best every day. I'm trying to do everything my team needs me to do every day. So with that mindset, I know I'll succeed.
I'm familiar with a lot of Philadelphia basketball because we used to do the state playoffs all the time. But I'm not all that familiar with Westtown basketball. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Westtown basketball, when it was introduced to me, was a place like a basketball powerhouse, a place where you go to grow, a place where you go to understand the game in a better sense. So like looking at the guys they've had, like Cam Reddish on the Lakers, Mo Bamba on the Sixers, a lot of guys in the league, a lot of guys who've come through here and just gotten better. That's what it was introduced to me as, and being here, I could definitely see why that is. Like in the 1 year I've been here, I probably learned more than in my entire life of playing basketball. And it's just opened up my eyes to like being a high level athlete, knowing how to like hold yourself, represent yourself, just everything. It just helped me grow a lot.
That says a lot about Coach Berger. He must be extremely special to you.
Yeah, very special guy.
And TJ, of course, I'm sure he's looking forward to having you join him next year on the court.
Yeah, he is. I've been talking to Teach ever since Lafayette started recruiting me. He told me it was a great place, and if I came, it would be great to play with him because I've worked out with Teach a lot over the summer when I got here, so it would be great to play with him.
As I'm sure you are well aware, you don't come to Lafayette if you're not a student athlete. So you've got to be a great student. I know networking actually had a little bit to do with you coming to Lafayette. You want to be an architect, and you're well aware of some of Lafayette's architect graduates.
I am. When I first started talking to Lafayette, the biggest thing for me, the first thing for me was like if they have an architecture program. Like all the schools I talked to, I had to, if you didn't have an architecture program, it probably wouldn't work out for me because that's something I'm really interested in and I really want to do. So finding out they had one and the situation on the basketball end was like just a deal breaker for me.
That's great to hear. Well, you can go into constructing a great basketball program when you get up here. You and Coach McGarvey, I'm sure, are working hard to do just that. Hey, we really look forward to you coming on campus. We look forward to watching you play 4 years here at Lafayette. And once again, you're not all that far away. So if you come up and watch a game, make sure you stop over and see John Leone and myself so we can get to know you a little bit better.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
And have a great high school season.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Malik Rasul. And Mike, you got a good one there for sure. Oh, Coach.
I was muted for a second. Yes, yeah, we have a good one, and like I mentioned, his maturity level and his understanding of what it takes to be a student athlete. He's just a great person all around. So he's going to fit in really well with our locker room. And you saw the talent; it jumps off the page at you when you see the highlight tape. So the combination of being a great young man, good student, and a good basketball player, it's going to fit in very well.
John, a week from tonight, we get it all rolling as the women will be playing, and then the following Sunday we've got the men. So we got a little football in between. So it's going to be a great week and a half, couple of weeks, and then the whole basketball season ahead of us.
Well, the only unhappy person in my house is my wife right now because ESPN Plus. Last night, tonight. I've got them all lined up. So, she wants to watch something else. Poor Julie's out of luck. That's just the way it goes. She thought it was over when I got out of coaching. Not so much.
Well, maybe you can get her to televise something, then you can get to talk to her.
I think she's happier, truth be told.
Mike, have a great trip to California. We look forward to your return, but go out there and show UCLA and Pepperdine how to play the game.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Good luck,
thanks to everyone who joined us tonight on the signing show. It was signing day. Lafayette with 3 outstanding student athletes who will be coming to campus very, very shortly after their senior year in high school. So for all of us on the Lafayette Sports Network, for John, for Mike, for Kia, thanks for spending some time with us. Good night, everybody.